I don't understand why this topic is still coming up. Like, what are we like? Are you hurt or you just like what is it? Because like it's too much. Like it's too much.
That's why we called it a pivot, and that's why it wasn't a mistake. RC, was it a mistake to pivot? You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't like it was overnight. Like we saw what was going on, and we said we had to move in a different direction.
Right. Okay, so we're back with this pivot / Brandon Marshall I Am Athlete situation. I don't understand why this is still coming up. Like, and it feels like things are shifting when it comes to even like the narrative on it. Like it's getting nastier and nastier. Is there like some sort of like business dealings that are still being wrapped up or something that is, you know, prolonging this separation? Because it's like it's getting nasty, and it's like, why? Is it like a real relationship situation where there's a hurt parties? Because I can get behind that, like that folks kind of really thought that there was like some sort of friendship that would stand the test of time or whatever, and come to find out maybe that wasn't the case. I can get behind that, but it's kind of like on the business front of it, why are we still talking about this other than it serves the pivot business wise to keep talking about it? Like what is the goal? Because on one minute it's you know, it was just a difference in vision or whatever, and then the next minute is that we couldn't get the proper valuation for what we wanted to buy in at. It wasn't necessarily just the vision. The next minute is both of them, and then the next thing is, Brandon, we wish them all the best or whatever at I Am Athlete, and Brandon, we wish you the best. And then the next thing is he's a horrible person that doesn't have the character to care about friends and doesn't value people and all this. And just before that was, oh yeah, we're gonna be cool, you know, still brothers or whatever, but we just going our separate ways. Like what is the story? And a lot of people say none of your business. I would agree, except for the fact that you keep bringing us into it. Like, what is, if we're gonna you know, be saying that this person's character is this and that or whatever, like let's because maybe there's something that happened that nobody is privy to that might really evidence character flaws. Because all I've heard so far is business items, and character flaws can raise themselves when it comes to, or can evidence themselves when it comes to business 1000%. Often that is the case. But when I keep hearing about I was Channing and I was disrespected as a man and I could never go back. Okay, wait a minute. Is this like disrespected like ego wise, like the way you were talked to, the way, you know, or is it just purely like the numbers and things that you all disagreed on? Because every time I keep hearing about I was disrespected and there was some things that you go against with the code, and from Fred, the code, you went against this and that. Channing, like, man, just as a man, just as on some man stuff. Okay, what are we talking about? I mean, did he try to like punk y'all or something, or was it just literally like a disagreement on business? Context on that, I think, is important, because y'all just saying that this man like don't care about people. And let me just get this out the way. Oh, Brandon Marshall must be paying him. That man does not know me. I did not know that man. It's just looking at the situation. It don't need to be all of that. Let's look at the business of it. The business of it, y'all didn't make no sense. And some of y'all down in the comment, I mean, sometimes I wonder. Okay, never mind. I'll just say this: you look foolish because they did pay. They did say they paid. I have never seen anything where any of them have said that Channing and Fred paid for anything when it came to I Am Athlete. Now I have heard sweat equity and Fred trying to put a valuation on this sweat equity and that sort of thing, and I have heard them both reference the fact that Brandon Marshall has put in the initial all the initial funding for I Am Athlete. So what are y'all folks talking about that they did pay? Yeah, like I don't know where you getting this from. and if you have seen it, please share it with me. It's not like it's implausible that they've said that because these stories tend to be changing quite frequently over time. So maybe somebody did say that at some point. I haven't seen it. Anyway, but it can't feel good to have that issue be double fold, like twofold, right? Where you lost a business relationship, you lost a personal relationship, maybe that you really did value. I think that I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that Channing and Fred did value the relationship they had with Brandon, because they keep in some ways talking about it and talking about more so a personal man code and a personal the friendship, and we're supposed to be buddies, and they reference this quite often. So I'm hoping that that's because that they really did value their relationship with Brandon Marshall. Because another side of it to me is that, okay, you guys are trying to use that as leverage to get your way when it comes to bad business. We supposed to be friends, so you're just supposed to do whatever I said, right? No. We supposed to be friends, so you're just supposed to let me buy into the company after you paid $11 million as the initial investment, and we should just split it evenly now, right? Like, no. No. And that 11 million comes from something I will put in here from what Brandon Marshall said. He said 11 million was his investment. So all y'all, whatever, man. Like, some of y'all, it's okay. But I mean that, and again, first of all, I don't have any more information and insight on this than any of you all do, just kind of publicly viewing and not knowing these individuals. So don't come looking at me like insider information. I don't have any. I'm looking at what is playing out, from what I can see that the public is viewing. I haven't seen necessarily everything, but certain key things, I'm just like, it's starting to form like a kind of a story here that doesn't make sense to me to continue down the road unless there's some sort of financial reasoning to continue to have this topic brewing. Like, is this helping drive traffic to both platforms? I mean, is this like just keep talking about this? I don't understand, because it's a dead issue. You all, from my understanding, set up the business of it where you and well, at least Fred mentioned this, that how, we'll sign the whatever name, image, likeness, all of that, retroactively pay me for my services or whatever. So unless you have not yet been paid, or, maybe there's some business ongoing, but as far as association, like they said, they've cut all ties. So why is this something at this point? I think they should be asking interviewers not to ask them about that, because RC is in this. RC wasn't even involved in that. As far as I know, RC was not even involved in that initial breakup situation. Only so far as he was involved to say, "Hey guys, are you guys able to fix that prior relationship before we start this new one, or is it a done deal with that old situation, or can we or can you fix it, or is it done where we can start to pivot?" Right? That's only his involvement. But if I was RC, I would start to feel some type of way. I mean, this is not one of those things where you're trying to sow dissension in other, in someone's camp or something. I would just say, like, hey guys, what we're building is more than a runner-up, second best, honorable mention to what you guys were previously doing. Like, we can never get away from, I think RC said this in one of his previous interviews, we can never get away from the fact that Channing and Fred really developed a prominence and a cultural relevance beyond sports, from their initial beginnings on I Am Athlete. But at this point, having the top of the conversations and the clip and the sound bites from the conversations be I Am Athlete, it's like, what? For why? I mean, let's talk about the wonderful, and let's just stay on the wonderful, amazing things that that the Pivot is doing in their own right. It does not have to be. To me, it's almost like, why is it necessarily needs to be this constant shadow over the Pivot, always appearing like this next best option type of thing? I mean, they tried to clean it up, because initially when Channing was talking and kind of running off kind of quick, he kind of almost presented it like on Bussin' with the Boys or whatever, like RC was like, just, he was there, so we ran with RC, like, okay, we ain't know what else we were gonna do, and RC was available, so so Fred tried to quickly, like, you know, like, no, we had a short list. It was a list of one. It was RC, you know, and rightly so. But if I'm RC, I'm like, it's like being with somebody who was in a bad relationship or whatever. You got 2 times to bring this person up in public again. Like, what? I understand. Heal. That's great. Therapy, all that. Why are we talking about this? Do you need to go back over and deal with something, or can we continue? Like, I don't even understand why why RC is like, well, do you feel like you were treated like an employee? What the? They ain't got nothing to do with you.
Going up, now the business is going, now money's starting to come in, and now, you know, I'm not an employee. We're not employees. We're creators. We're a part of this, and it was just so the fundamentals.
Do you think you was treated like an employee?
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the pivot. I'm just saying, like, move on. The only thing that's really is important. It's a couple things that's really important to me about this, and it's important to me. Like who cares? Well, it's my show. You're watching it, so it's important. Important to me because the personal relationships are important. When you spend, you know, you live long enough, you know, strong relationships and that sort of thing, they are to be valued. And it's very much problematic when you see people who don't properly value relationships. Some people value them differently, you know, depending on who you are, your personality. You're not always going to meet eye to eye on certain things. But I would say, to Brandon, I would say, it looks like these gentlemen feel slighted in a way that goes beyond business. I don't know. I'm not sure any of us know. I don't think any of us know, like, really, like, all of what transpired behind closed doors. But I would always say, based upon the stature of, like, what you meant to that deal, what you meant in that business venture, and what you meant to those individuals personally, I would almost, like, hope that one day sooner rather than later, but I would almost hope that you would be able to kind of, you know, more so than they're able to, kind of put your ego to the side. I do think you kind of have an ego. I do think you do. But if you could put, like, a lot of that aside and really try to repair the personal part, reach out to those guys, man, and see if there's something that can be really, really repaired. It's cool. Like, the business part didn't work out. Cool. But can there be some sort of amends on that personal level? And I'm hoping that can be the case, because I really don't know what the crux of it is. If the crux of it is just that we think that Brandon is a bad person because he didn't just do whatever we wanted him to do when it comes to business, it ain't much you can do about that, you know. Or when they say, like, oh, you know, just as a man, how I got treated or whatever. Okay, I can see a feeling like that coming out of a conversation going like this. I spent $11 million. Y'all ain't gave me nothing. Now what you want to talk about? You want to break up this $11 million real quick and then talk about equity? No? Oh, okay. Well, you take this check and you can go over there. Like, or you can take this or nothing, or like what you want to do, because I'm not giving you 27, what did Fred say, 27 something percent or whatever of my business, and you ain't put a dime in and I spent $11 million. That's not gonna happen. Not here, not now, not tomorrow, not yesterday, never. You know, so if that's what you call, you know, somebody talking down to you as a person or whatever, you might just have to agree to disagree. The second thing that I think is really important is the fact that I think everybody from this situation is doing better business. I do believe that, and I think that that's really important, because if anything were to come out of this, you know, everybody respecting each other, getting the business out of the way so that nobody is confused. Because really the only difference between, in my opinion, the pivot relationship and Brandon Marshall's I Am Athlete podcast is that it's now a proven concept and people understand the importance of having the business done on the front end first. That's the only difference, because hell, if RC and them had done the same thing and RC had to put up $11 million and nobody else was putting up any money, the same thing would have happened. Ain't no way. The same thing would have happened. You know what I mean? So let's just be clear on that.
I can never doubt myself, I know better. All of you critics be acting like you know better. Blowing the smoke, but I know when the dust settles. Said I'm in my element, it's evident that there's levels to the game. All of those dark nights I got then, breaking my back to make it out, got me feeling like rain. I ain't never need your help, I know you wishing me well. A penny for your thoughts, but seeing no change. Snap for the sun like Diddy. The riches got a mad ass son, I'm like Billy. I ain't never switch up, whole team with me. But known for my city like OAG.